This is going to sound controversial, but a cinematic color grade is not what your corporate client wants. I have spent countless and wasted hours trying to get a cinematic look for my corporate client. So let's jump into DaVinci Resolve and I'll show you how to achieve this look. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is to look for a hero shot. It doesn't matter where you find the shot on your timeline, as long as you have a hero shot, and then you grade that first and then apply it to all the other clips, and from there on you can adjust the node. So step one is we're going to create our node tree. Now to create our node tree, we are going to create first a parallel node. We're gonna have it like that, and then we're gonna option S to create our next node, which is then going to be our look node. So first node is going to be our highlights, and then second node, the top node, is going to be our primaries, and then the bottom node is going to be our contrast, and then we're gonna have a node called a look node, and then we are going to move over to another parallel node, and then in this parallel node, let me just highlight and bring it to the side here, and then the top part is going to be our skin, and then the bottom part is going to be our subject, and then you click on here and option S to create the last two nodes or last node. This is going to be called detail, and then node 10 is going to be our CST, our color space transform. Now there are many ways to create a node tree, but I found that this is the fastest way. So very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our color space transform. We're going to click and drag on it, and then we are going to choose our color gamut that we shot this video in. And I know from what I've done is that I shot it on a Panasonic GH6. I know what gamut I chose for the Panasonic, so I'm gonna go Panasonic V gamut. If you shot in Sony, you're gonna choose your Sony profile. So, and then I knew I shot it in Vlog, and then we're gonna go to Rec 709 and Rec 709A, because I am editing on a Mac, so it makes it a little bit easier. So after you have added the color space transform and you've done all of that, you're going to go down to your tone mapping, and we're going to say luminance mapping, and we're going to use custom output and input. Okay, and then with gamut mapping, we're going to choose saturation, and we're going to leave it as is. So now we have our node tree. So first we're going to go up to primaries, and we are going to adjust our primaries, which is this color wheel over here. And then normally I just go to the wheel option and select that. Then I first normally go and I up the exposure because I want to see what is happening. From there on, we can adjust everything else. Now with the Panasonic, it captures very nice, punchy, saturated colors, which I really enjoy, but we can up the saturation by 3, and that is already looking good. So I go over here and I look on the histogram. You can see the white balance is heading more towards the reds. Go over to my HDR wheels and I will push it in the opposite direction. I'll keep looking at the white balance. So if you can see here, you can see now that it's not warm, but it's heading more towards the cooler tones. So then I'll just dial it a little bit ever so slightly back, because you have to remember that this was shot during the day, so obviously there's going to be a lot more oranges and reds in this shot. So I'm first going to go over to my contrast, and to add contrast to the scene I use my curves, and then I'll make sure that editable splines is selected, and from there on I'll click and drag it down to this line where it will show just below the 896 on the scale. And then from there on you can click and drag that up, and you'll see now it's adding a lot more contrast to the scene. And then the same with when it comes to the shadows, because if I kept it here at the bottom and it was straight, you would see it's very close to clipping. So all I do is I lift the shadows and then I'll drop it a bit, and then now you can go back to your image and look at your image and make sure that you have enough contrast. And then what you do is you're gonna have to go by eye what is looking good, because you can leave it like that but then it looks too soft. So we're gonna drop it a tad bit and then go back to this spline and then just lift it ever so slightly and then drop it again over here. And now we obviously have some parts that are clipping. So then next we are doing our highlights, because there are some areas that is clipping a little bit. So we'll go to this menu here by your qualifier menu. We're going to deselect hue and saturation. We're going to leave luminance on. We're going to set the low point to 65. And then what we'll do is we'll soften the look ever so slightly. I would say about, let's go up to like 15. And now that we have selected that, then you're going to go back to your primaries tab. Under highlights, you're just going to drop it. And you'll see that all the highlighted areas, all the areas that the highlights is obviously popping, excluding the hue and the saturation, we are able to then just drop it ever so slightly. So yeah, you can see it's like very overexposed, but it's also not that overexposed. It actually looks really good. So what I do is with the highlights, because highlights is also crucial in your image. You don't want to clip it, but you also don't want to like flatten it, because that will make your look flat as well. So I bring it down and then slightly increase it until it looks good. So I'll keep going, and then you can always go past the clipping point and then just bring it back down and see how it looks. And if you now take a look, that's before and after the highlights adjustment. So this is before the highlights adjustment and after the highlights adjustment. That already made a big difference. And even with your contrast, this is before adding contrast on the curves, and this is after adding contrast, and the same with the highlights. So after the highlights adjustments, now we are going to go over to our look adjustment. We're going to stay in our primaries, and from here, this is now where we are going to create a look for our video. To have that nice clean commercial look, this is basically done just by doing those few things. But if you want to go a little bit further, we're going to go over here to your gain, and you're going to just ever so slightly move it over again, like very little, not a lot. And then you'll see here by your gamma, I'll go opposite of the blue. I'm going to go just move it more opposite, so that my midtones, which is most probably going to be more like the skin tones, are going to have a more even look. And I'll push it up ever so slightly away from the greens, so that we can take out some of the greens, because greens in a shot don't always look very good. So we're going to move it up ever so slightly. And then over here on the parade, you'll see that the blues, there's obviously a little bit more blues, as you can see, and then the reds, I try and get it as equal as possible, and the same with the shadows. So if you want the orange teal look, which we're not going for, then this is how you're going to do it. You will basically take your shadows and then move it more towards the teal, and then bring the offset more towards your oranges, and then you'll have a good look. So this is before the look, and this is after the look. So it just adds a little bit more color and contrast to your scene, which looks great already. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the skin. Once you've selected the node, we're going to go over to the AI masking feature, and we're going to just click not to view what you were clicking and what it masked. You can see now that her face has been masked, and same over here. And with the picker, you're gonna have to adjust some features, and as you can see here, it now selected the hands. So you option click and it will take away those areas. So you're going to obviously have to go in and refine it a little bit and adjust some of it. What it will do is that it will select the right area. So then what you do is you need to track it. So we're going to now, because I know we didn't start at the beginning and we didn't start at the end, so we're going to say track forward and backwards. And what it's going to do now is going to track those trackers that you've just selected for your mask, and it's going to do a good job in tracking those areas for you. Okay, so now that the skin has been selected and masked on that node, now we can go over to our color warper and you can select that color and then click and drag it. And now you see if I click and drag it, it's only affecting what has been masked. So from here, I'm going to go back to sort of where it is. Remember, your slight adjustments is going to affect it quite a bit. So we want to go away from the greens and more towards the reds, but now you see it's too much, so you just have to adjust it ever so slightly. Not too much, just tiny bit. And then you can adjust the amount of exposure on that thing by adjusting the exposure slider. So I'm just gonna adjust it ever so slightly just to make it a little bit brighter, and then the same with when it comes to the shadows. So I'll go over to the HDR and adjust my shadows. So just adjust it a tiny bit, and now you'll be able to see the effect from that. And so I'm not going to do the subject because they are pretty well lit. And when it comes to detail, I just go over here to the blur tab, go to the radius, and then drop it down by 0.2. And if I look here again on the skin tones, it looks a little bit too saturated. So I'm going to go back over here to the saturation in primaries, and I'm going to dial it back down. See, if you oversaturate it and then you just bring it back down, and now that is looking really nice. Details in, and that is your look. And then basically what you do is you will right click, say grab a store, and that is going to be your grade. So what you can do then is you can say export or export with a display light. You can click that, and that's how you create a light or a power grade for DaVinci Resolve. So now over here you can see, and then you can say your DPX file or even a DRX file, whatever you want to export it as. So that's how you do that. So then from here, because I selected a still from that image, you can see if we play it back and forth that it actually looks really nice and really professional. It's not so orange, and you will see here this is the before and that's the after. Okay, so now that you have learned how to create a clean commercial look, you can save this as a light or a power grade, and then on the next edit just click and drag it onto your footage or onto your timeline, and your grade will be ready. And all you have to do is just adjust a few settings and your footage will look great and clean, saving you time and keeping your client happy, wanting more. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.